So, you know this girl from Ishuzoku Reviewers? Well, her English dub voice actress, the voice actress for the English dub, that's probably a better way of saying it, did an AMA on Twitter. Now, we actually talked about that very briefly in another video, only one segment of the AMA though, and for some reason, I didn't think to go on Twitter and look at the full AMA. I have no idea why, until today. So, that's what we're doing in this video. There is another reason why I want to do this video today though, just being completely honest with you guys. I'm exhausted. I barely got any sleep last night, just one of those nights. And this morning training, man, 2 hours Muay Thai, and we did a lot of kicks and blocking kicks. And if I'm bruising up this badly like a few hours after class, it's probably going to be a lot worse in a few more hours and probably a lot worse tomorrow. But at least tomorrow, I will be able to be well rested. So I don't have much energy today. So it's a pretty easy content, to be honest. I also want to mention that specifically because I am working on some really good reports regarding Funimation and my anime list, and I'm really looking forward to getting those out. But I want to be sure I'm I'm able to cover it adequately. It's important stuff. So the VA who provided the AMA is Britanny Lauda. And hopefully I pronounced her name right. She did make a statement after the AMA saying this. Now, I don't think anyone in this community has an issue with what she's talking about here, but I'm going to read it regardless because let's show respect to her by reading this part first, and then we'll read the AMA. So she wrote, "Hey, I love all y'all, but someone like a VA on Twitter answering you/you responding to them does not make you friends with said person, nor does it entitle you to their private personal lives. Please watch the line there." And she also added this: "While I enjoy tweeting and goofing around with a lot of you, that does not mean I want you over at my house for some board games / talk shop with you. And I know many of my peers feel the same. We do have a public image, but let us keep a slice of private personal life too, please." So I don't know if she was getting weird DMs or something. Her DMs do appear to be open, so perhaps that's what was going on. Again, I'm not worried about any of you sending anything weird. We have a good community here. But it's a show of respect, right, to read that. So now we'll take a look at the AMA. And she started the AMA off with this tweet that reads, "All right, I've been asked a lot of questions and have been seeing a lot of stuff about me that I'd like to correct regarding this show. This is in no way a company or official statement, but my own personal experience and perspective." And again, it's nice in my opinion that she's sharing this because this is arguably the most information we have with this whole situation, since Funimation's statement didn't really provide us with much of anything except good memes. Okay, so here is the actual AMA portion, and it goes up to number 7. Starting with number 1, she says, "No, I will not tell you who else was on the show, cast/crew, now that it was dropped. It has nothing to do with my NDA." So is the implication there that she does have an NDA? That she had to sign an NDA? Maybe, which is interesting. "I'm not disrespecting my peers." Also interesting that some of the other peers apparently don't want to come forward, the other ones who are working on the show. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some have come forward and I just don't know about it. But it kind of reads that way, which is interesting. Number 2, "I know several other people on the show who were upset to see it canceled. We did not celebrate it. Canceling the show means less acting work, something most of us love to do and are getting paid for. Though I can't speak for everyone because I have no way of knowing how everyone feels." Number 3, "We were not fired. I had a session scheduled for an episode that morning, and that night it was canceled. My job is to go in and record whatever they hand me during that session." Second page. Number 4. Let me scroll it down a little bit more. Excuse me. 1 second. Okay, number 4. "I have not been told anything more than my session being canceled." Number 5. "I am paid for the work I do. I was paid for all work recorded. My contract is not for the whole show or for a character because we don't know what the hour count will be for a simuldub." This is interesting because we have seen contracts from Funimation before due to the whole litigation going on, and some of the contracts with Funimation make it seem like certain VAs are under year-long contracts. So, I guess it's a little interesting, but of course a company will have different contracts for different work that they need done, So I guess it is what it is. Just keep all the stuff in mind, theory craft of it what you will, and maybe you find certain things interesting that I don't and vice versa. Just share your thoughts in the comments below if you would. Interesting stuff. Continuing on. "Any contractual obligations between me and the company have been fulfilled and were not breached." Number 6, "A simuldub means we don't get the footage extremely in advance. Many times, it's only finalized shortly before Japanese broadcast. Production, I'm making a lot of errors in this video. Like I said, man, my mind is not there today. Production only had episode 1 when we started. Number 7. The manga is not as graphic as the anime. This doesn't matter to me, but when you have a platform with an R18 plus filter built in, it does matter. Now, that is what a lot of people are calling shenanigans about, you know, the whole outside our standards, but you look at other things that Funimation has on their roster, and arguably worse than Ishuzoku Reviewers, just saying. Let's continue on, though. Even Crunchyroll filters out certain graphic shows on their site on apps like Ladies vs. Butlers. Now, absolutely no shade at Britanny for that comparison, but to me, in my humble opinion, it's just a little bit silly. I mean, Crunchyroll doesn't exactly have a reputation for being, you know, really into very mature themes and stuff like that. I mean, who knows? The type of shows that they have, I don't know their full roster, but I do know how their internal, how they run their company and how it comes off. So let me just phrase it like that. I got to keep things as simple as possible in this one, you know. As I said, I'm not really all there today. It is what it is. Now, she also had a 0.8, but this one has some language, specifically like 2 words that we're going to have to watch out for. So I'm just going to read it, and I'll paraphrase that part. Here's her final part of this. She says, also, ... Somewhere in all of this is me... she wrote, somewhere in all this, me saying I find recording ecchi shows fun became a quote here now. She voices in... mature anime, you know what I mean. I'm rephrasing one word that starts with an H and ends with an I. As a hobby, which is a quote. So someone was saying that she does that for fun as a hobby. And she says, I do not. I find voicing in ecchi shows, which I am paid for, to be fun. I might be a workaholic, but not dub starts with an H, ends with an I in my spare time. Workaholic. So yeah, not true. She also wrote this. Also, I am not mad at Funimation. I understand and respect this decision. Am I upset not to play Meidri anymore? Sure, but I'm not petty. This is a business. They aren't giving me / other actors other work to make up it. That's some weird idea that doesn't exist. Okay. I guess someone was commenting that or something. And then she does, again, I got to paraphrase the second part. She says, anyone making this into a conspiracy about them wanting to censor and shame you for liking anime girl muffins... you know what I mean, is absurd. The show got more graphic than the manga, and each episode is pushing further. It isn't a good fit for them. Maybe someone else will pick it up for home video. Now, this is just completely my opinion of this part. Nothing from Britanny. You know, Funimation, they should have looked into this more thoroughly. I just can't get behind them picking it up, bringing all these people on board, and then being like, wait a second. What did we do? No, we can't do this. It's just weird. Weird does not even begin to describe it, to be honest. But that's why we've been talking about this situation for, you know, like a week now. So you guys know what I mean. Thank you for bearing with me throughout this video. But wait, there is more. Take a look at this. Tom says, well, Noble asked it best. How did they not know what they were getting into before they started dubbing it? That's the big thing everyone is skeptical about. It's one thing to look at the manga, but Funimation deals specifically with anime. And Britanny's response is, anime isn't completed when licensing happens, so most times they only have what is finished up production and the manga to go off. It's a simuldub, so we literally had one episode at the start of production. That's it. This is fairly common. Sometimes we get an episode, gasp, a day early. If we negotiated a same-day simuldub, production most likely is ahead to follow for the materials to be handled to be handed to us so early. Morose Mononoke in Season 2 and Wise Man's A Grandchild were 2 shows I worked on like this. Now, here's my rebuttal to that. And again, this is not directed at Britanny, it's more so directed at Funimation. My rebuttal is, given the manga, they knew enough about the material that would likely be in the anime. That's a fact. The manga, while it might not be as extreme, does still retain many of those themes. So perhaps Funimation should not have went with a simul dub on something that is pretty clearly a risky decision. But hey, I'm not going to tell Funimation how to run their company. I mean, can you even say that they're running it? I have chapter 17 of the Ishuzoku manga pulled up. Excuse me, you wouldn't believe what I'm looking at right here. It is a little elf girl, I think. I don't know. She's holding her muffins with, I'm going to have to paraphrase this greatly. She is holding her muffins with a jar of super glue between them, spewing out liquid glue all over the viewer. Like, literally, this is how did they? And then it's saying like slurp. Like, what? Funimation, even with the manga, you should have known. You should have reasonably known. And again, you should have, if anything, maybe not done a simuldub. Okay, apparently it is called Angel Mayo. That is the name on the bottle, not the jar, excuse me. And now she's literally slipping more of it, and I can't explain. The one before this, there was chains involved. Like, guys, I don't know what else to say here. I really don't. Oh my gosh. I gotta, oh. Dude, now there is a freaking teddy bear thing that's apparently called Ice, the polar bear hybrid, and okay, I gotta end this video. This is getting way too far. All right, so thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you everyone who shares, comments, likes, subscribes, all that jazz. And for the kind people who promoted yesterday's Hero Academia video on Twitter, thank you very much. We have shout-outs for that. And if it was promoted elsewhere, thank you as well. I only know when it's over on Twitter, though, so I can only give shout-outs for that. That's going to be On the Brain, Devin E, Skella Kitty, Black Kaleidoscope Studios, Bruno, 13th Honey Badger, Shogun, Dave M, Zomber Black, The Lancaster Kid, Joshua B, Studio Dragoon, Richard O'Neill, Ishra Blackwolf, KJ Collins, Andrew, Mr. Anime 343, Yuji, Boneyard Sorcerer, Zombear. Sounds like you might get along with Ice. No, I'm kidding. Coden X, that one Sliming and Tom the Fanboy, TJ, the Offbeat Ninja, Ricky Spiral, Symbol 88, and Phantom Ravenwood. Thank you all very much. I'll catch you next time.